all. Okay,
Okay.
so there we go. So what I was saying was, if you don't put a product in front of them, people
Yeah.
won't know about it.
Yeah.
So my goal is to get as many cigar related products in front of people,
Yes.
so that they can uh, support, shop, and also know about the smaller businesses. Um,
Yes.
because a small business, a large company has to be small from the beginning, right? So
Yeah.
my job is to push those smaller companies into the forefront, because a lot of people, even though they have their favorite cigars, or
Yes.
they look for those accessories. And when I saw yours, first of all, classy, sophisticated, I was like, wow, I never thought about a cigar wallet.
You know what? Just for those kind words, I'm going to be sending you one
Oh,
free of charge after this interview.
well,
Thank you.
thank you.
Keep the compliments coming, please.
But because Michelle
Yes.
linked us together. Thank you, Michelle, and make sure
Yes.
everybody go follows Moments with Michelle on Instagram and Facebook. She linked us together, and so when you reached out, I went and looked at your website, and I was literally blown away. I have never seen anything like that on the market yet. So, what made you? Because there's a lot of things on the market cigar related, right? What made you think about the cigar wallet?
To be honest with you, when I first started the business, so I was thinking about it. I got the idea from a young lady I was working with on what I wanted to do, and she was like, I think we were talking like we are, and I got up and I had one of my cases, and she was like, "Do you sell that?" And I was like, "No, I bought this like I think from Etsy." And she's like, "Well, why don't you think about selling your own stuff since you're in the since you do it so much?" And then like the biggest light bulb just went off in my head,
Mhm.
and I started looking at different things like different products, and just having regular cases. And then I think I was at work one time and I saw a guy pull a wallet, like a long form wallet, out of his jacket. And I was like, wow, I said, that would be great if it held cigars. And I was just like, And I just started looking online and I found, this vendor, and he sold, it basically was, you could put, cigars in it, or, pipes. And so I think it was originally for pipes.
Okay.
And I was just like, I need that. So what I did is I purchased it. I loved it. And we worked out something. And so it was a great idea and I love it. People love it, especially women, because when I promote it, I always say, it's good for your clutch,
Mhm.
goes in your purse, your overnight bag, whatever works. And
Mhm.
it does good.
Okay, so we jump right into the conversation. I didn't. I need you to introduce yourself, and I need you to pronounce the name for me, because I know I'm not saying it right. I know.
Okay. My name is Frederick Brown. I am the managing director of SARELIX Accessories LLC,
Okay, so and you're based in New York.
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. Okay, Brooklyn in the house. All right.
Yeah.
So when you saw the wallet and you thought about it, and yes, it is one of the things that women would really, really enjoy.
Yes.
When I saw it, I was like, oh my God, this would probably take the place of a clutch for me, because I can have three cigars, I can
Hmm.
have my credit cards, I can have some cash, I can have a
The
cutter.
cutter.
All I got
Yeah.
to do is put my lighter in my pocket. Boom, I'm out the door.
Bingo. Yes.
Now, was your goal always for it to be geared toward women, or is it just women have supported it more?
I think initially the cigar wallet wasn't the first product that I had initially started selling. It was the multifunctional leather cigar travel case was my
Okay.
first, and then I had moved on to others. It's been a trial and error.
Mhm.
There've been some that I had on there that just didn't sell. It just didn't really get a good feel, and so I'm always constantly looking at new stuff. My goal is to look for stuff that nobody else has,
Okay.
and going to say in New York and especially the South, you see a lot of women that smoke cigars, especially in the South. It's a little more than I would say here in New York. It's more close to like, 55-45 in the South compared to in New York. So I was like, women smoke cigars too. What about, and then that's kind of what my initial thought was.
Okay, yes, because women smoke cigars too.
Yes,
So when you think about where this process, so you found the person to manufacture them.
yes,
I guess that would
yes.
be the right word. So how did you get that out in front of people? Like, how did you go to a trade show? Did you just word of mouth? Did you set up at
No,
a corner?
I've been smoking cigars since 2009.
Mhm.
And, it was just before I even got into the business of cigars, I'd be online on the different, cigar threads, everybody with and that's so I just posted it. And I think when I first started my business, I got my first sale within a day.
Oh
And that's
wow.
when I said, I can do this.
Mhm.
And kind of like earlier, what you were saying is that if people don't see it, I go with the premise that even though I basically promote every day, I
Mhm.
go with the premise that not everybody knows who I am.
Mhm.
And what I try to do is not just reach that person who already knows who I am. I want to meet that person that sees my stuff for the first time.
Mhm.
And that's every time I, promote, um, that's my thought process. And I speak to other other small business owners in the cigar related, sector. And they ask me like, what are you trying to convey? And I said, a lifestyle.
Mhm.
Because if, a majority of my pictures are basically my case with it open, a drink, my cigar,
Mhm.
lighting. What I want is when people see that, I want it to be them looking at that's them when they see my case or my cases, any of my apparel. So I want them to look through my eyes and see everything. And it's not really about me, but I want you to say, okay, that could be me carrying that case,
Mhm.
or that could be me with the wallet. That would look good with my tuxedo that I'm going when I go to, this show or something like that.
Mhm. So when you promote your product, are you going strictly to cigar lounges, or are you like doing vendor events to put that out in front of people?
I haven't done any vendor events yet. When it gets warmer, that's the goal.
Mhm.
Uh, I'm One of my goals possibly is to do one of the cigar weeks, maybe down in Atlanta or Charlotte or South Carolina, something like that, or even Philly. So if I could do a cigar week, and um, as it gets warmer, I'll be doing that. But generally, I go to cigar. Majority of my pictures is when I go to cigar lounges, um, or when it's nice and the weather's warm, I just sit on my stoop.
Okay. So it's from start to finish for your process. You knew what you kind of sort of wanted. Did you tweak it any from what you had seen um already out there? Like, how did you come up with the concept of it needs to be a place for a cutter, it needs to be a place for some credit cards? Or was that already done and you just had to work with the manufacturer of it?
I think initially I just went with the premise of let me find something that I think is for me,
Hmm.
that I think that the average cigar smoker or even the most professional, aficionado cigar smoker would like,
Hmm.
and something that's practical because I'm a very practical person. So if I can if I can have something that has everything that I need, cigar holder, cutter, um, lighter, that's the minimum.
Hmm.
Something else like the multifunctional, it has a pen. I can hold a pen in it. I can hold 4 credit cards. So that's those. Then I started just looking at. That's why I started looking at different things with the handle, something that's practical that you could just, if you want to swing, if you want to hold under your arm.
Hmm.
Um, I've gone through several iterations of cases, and some that felt that I tried, it didn't work out. I took it off. I would try other ones. Just, if it's not selling, I give everything a chance. If it's not really selling,
Hmm.
I don't bother with it. And I think that, it doesn't make sense to waste because there was at one time I had maybe 20 products and I felt like it was too much. It was just a
Mm,
lot to look at, and I think it took away from the bigger picture, and that's finding something that catches your eye immediately. So
mhm.
that's why I've leveled down my amount of my products. I think I have 9 or 10 now.
Mhm.
And, depending on how I feel within the next 3 months, I might just take a few off. I might add some, depending on how everything goes.
I'm glad you said that because a lot of people, when they come out with something, they will throw 30, 40, 50 products up there, right?
Yeah.
And then they say, fingers crossed, I hope they all sell. And then you took the approach of, okay, it ain't selling, let me take it off. I'm not going
Yeah.
to keep trying to do this. So when you think about where you want to go with your products, your accessories, where do you see it? Like, let's just say 9 months from now, where do you see your product being at that point? Do you want it to be a brick and mortar? Do you want it to only be online? So tell me what your process is.
Well, right now I'm in discussions with several cigar lounges of having my stuff in their shop. So that's kind of what I'm looking at now. And I think that having that um kind of helps me, and it takes away from any added expense. I would, and these are cigar lounges that I have relationships with, that I've known people for years,
Mhm.
and having it in their shops kind of adds, helps both sides, because then I could promote saying, hey, I have my stuff here. And then somebody would say, oh, you know what, I never knew of that cigar lounge. Let me go check it out. Whether they buy my stuff at that point or not, I think it helps both parties.
So do you see, like, with your cigar accessories, your do you think that they're always going to just be the leather color, or are you going to branch out to have colors involved? Or
I
and
want
what's the
to,
process like from start to finish? Like, if I click on there to order today,
yes.
what should I expect?
So the wallets are the only one that have different colors. The wallets are black and brown.
Hmm.
The other three cases are all brown leather. What
Hmm.
I did was I had asked the different vendors if they could do a different color, and it just didn't come out right. I think what it was is it was new to them, so it wasn't like they started out with a different color. Like, so I think brown, I didn't want to mess around or give a, inferior product.
Hmm.
So I just kept it. What I will be doing is I'm talking with other vendors to see about their products. Because what I do is I generally talk with them, and they might send me a sample. And if it looks good, or if it's something that I think will work, then we go from there, depending on, how we want to work the relationship. But
Hmm.
I'm constantly looking to, again, find more product, different product that people would like, that I can say, hey, look, here you go. Uh Different colors, because I know women have been like, oh my God, if this was in pink, I would love it. And I'm like, yes, we're working on that. We'll see what happens. But
Hmm.
it's not as easy as I would like, but I'm still trying to progress with it.
Right. Anything that's leather, I like to stick with the brown or the black.
Yeah.
Because again, because I can't say this enough. I've only seen it online, but it is so sophisticated and it is so classy. And a lot of times you'll get these things and it'll be like, that's cute and all, but it gives the more elegant, upscale look to it. Now, was that what you were going for? Were you
Yes, of
going for the
course.
upscale?
Yes, because I mean, we're in this lifestyle. It's not a cheap lifestyle.
Hmm.
Number one, it can be a very expensive habit if
Hmm.
you allow it. And my thought was, I'm going to price my products high, because it's hot. It's harder to raise your prices than it is to lower it. So
Hmm.
I'm going to keep it high. And I still do. I have people that email me, I love your stuff, but it's too expensive. And I say, well, I understand,
Hmm.
but I want my products to be at a certain standard, and I'm not going to go down, because obviously there are people that purchase my stuff. So I know that there is somebody out there that likes it. And, you know, I totally understand if it's not for you.
Hmm. So when you think about, I'm glad you said when you price it for the sophisticated, because there are, um, I don't want to say that a lot of people are getting into cigar smoking as a fad, but it's
I would.
almost like a flash, like, oh, they smoking cigars, let me go smoke a cigar. You know, Joe
Yeah.
Burrow, when he came out playing football, all of a sudden, all the football players want to smoke cigars. Like, wait a minute, I didn't see you smoke no cigar before. Now, because Joe Cool did it,
Yeah.
now everybody's doing it. Like, no, this is a grown folks type
Yeah.
of activity. So when you think about going, like you said, you want to do the cigar weeks, when you go to the cigar weeks, because your product is so intricate, I want to say intricate, just looking at the pictures,
Thank you.
intricate and sophisticated and classy, are you going to be able to keep that in stock, or is that a on demand type of, you order and then it goes into production?
Well, for the most part, the stuff it's already done. So when somebody makes an order, I then, you know, I relay it to the vendor, you know, pay the vendor, and it gets, you know, it gets sent out. Or what I do is I get a certain amount of the product myself that I keep at home. So that way sometimes it makes it easier depending on, you know, depending on times, because like any business, you know, I work, I'm very consistent with my promotions and everything, but there's times when, you know, I'm just not selling. I've gone for a few times a month without selling. But you know, I always feel like you got to stay consistent. You got to keep going as if you're selling every day.
Mhm.
And you know, then when there's times when I'm hot, I'm hot. You know, I it's not you know, uncommon for times when I've sold, you know, 6 to 10 in a day, or you know, 10 in a week. It's just it's not up to me, but it's up, you know, it's up to the consumer.
Mhm.
But I feel like my stuff is, I think only one time where the consumer was like, I'm sold, you know, you got to give me a week, where I was backlogged. So that's
Oh.
normally during the holidays.
Mm.
Um, yeah, from Thanksgiving to January is when, you know, people are rushing to get their Christmas gifts out. And that's when you know, those are good problems to have.
Yeah. Oh,
But,
it definitely.
you
So
know,
tell me a little bit about your name, because the name is not like a, run of the mill name. Like, where did the name come from?
well, it's kind of a combination of my wife and myself. So,
Okay.
you know, she's always been supportive of me, and I thought this was a way to kind of honor her. And you know, we just a team, and we've always been there, you know, for each other and stuff like that. Even though I've come up with some crazy ideas, she's stuck by me and go ahead, you know, just go ahead. So,
So
you know,
now, is she a cigar smoker?
no, but she has done it once. You
Okay.
know, had to beg and, you know, pry, you know, had
Mhm.
to, you know, but she's done it. So,
But now let me ask you, so because she's not a cigar smoker, does she carry your wallet or your case? Like, because it doesn't necessarily have to be just for cigars, correct?
yes, but no, she doesn't. And that's
Okay.
fine. You know, you know, I'm not hurt
Okay.
too much,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
So when you thought about this, and you said, "Oh, well, there's another boss in the house. I need to go talk to her about it." What was your approach to her to say, "Hey, I want to do this," or was this one of the many things that you do? Is this your full time job, or is this
No,
something
not
that
yet.
you're doing on the side?
Not yet. Soon.
Okay.
Hopefully with you know, blessings.
Hmm.
Knock on wood. But you know, we run things through each other because my she's an entrepreneur herself. So it's pretty easy when we come up with, or you know, ideas, and we do things, we bounce things off of each other, you know, because she understands my struggle,
Hmm.
you know, and I understand hers. So it's not something that's nothing is outrageous in our household, especially
Hmm.
when, because I know we both put the effort in. So it's never something that's just crazy or whatever. Even if it is, we trust each other that we know what we're doing.
So with your cigar, with the cigar accessories that you have right now, where
Yes.
are you coming up with it more products? Like based off of seasons or quarters? Do you have like an end goal, like this year I'm gonna put out 2 more products, or are you just going to focus on the I think I counted 9 on the website? Are you just going to strictly focus on those?
Well, I'm always looking, and that's the thing, though. I have had, I think, because of the success, and I guess not even the more success, but the visibility that I have grown. I've had vendors reach out to me and send me their products.
Mhm.
Um, for the most part, they're nice, but I've seen it before, or it's very similar to something that I've seen. And it's, I'm just very, um, I'm just adamant about having something that nobody else has.
Mhm.
And if it means that it takes longer, then, so be it. Because, even for now, knock on wood, I'm doing well with what I have because the multifunctional I've had for over a year,
Mhm.
and it's still my biggest seller on a consistent basis.
Mhm.
So as long as until I find new stuff that is not out there in the common market,
Mhm.
that I've seen other vendors on Instagram and Facebook have, I'm just gonna keep looking. I'm gonna keep looking for that.
So your multifunction case you mentioned you've had for about a year. So how long has the wallet been in existence?
The wallet was probably, so I opened the business November of 22.
Mhm.
I got the wallet, I think it's been a year, February of 23 was when
Okay.
I think when I first pulled it out. That was like the second product after the multifunctional. And I
Okay.
was just constantly looking because at first I had on the website was I had the multifunctional, and I had all these cigars and lighters and stuff like that. And it was cluttered because I didn't know what I was doing.
Mhm.
And then I got the wallet, and then I started, taking stuff off, just going back and forth. And um, then I got the genuine leather storage holder.
Mhm.
And then last, the aficionado. I got that in the summer, this past summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so because you're in New York, are you finding that that market is like a hot market for you right now because you are local to New York? Or are you finding that your online sales are more south? Because I mean, listen, I'm in DC, in the DC area, and we have a
Yeah.
cigar lounge probably on almost every block, it feels like. So
In DC, really?
oh yes, yes. Oh my gosh. Where I live, from where I live, where I sit right now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 within 10 miles of each other,
Black owned?
Black owned.
Because I know about TC. I went to
Mhm.
TC.
Mhm.
That's the only one I went to, but I heard that there's one by a black woman.
Yes, there's Petworth,
Petworth, yes.
Petworth, and
Yes.
then there's Ladies First, owned by a Black woman.
Yes, I heard of that one.
And then
Okay.
there's Veteran Cigar, which is owned by a Black gentleman.
Now
And
Georgetown is not, right?
no,
Georgetown is not
Georgetown is
black
not.
owned.
No,
Okay.
Georgetown is not Black owned, but it is one of the oldest cigar lounges in DC. It's been here
Okay.
since the 50s, I believe. 50s or
Wow.
60s, I think. Yes. I just did an interview with her last week. Uh,
Wow.
and so and then we have the box, which was formerly the tender box, but now it's just the box.
Okay.
So like I said, I have 4 within 10 miles of where I live.
Wow.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so I'm sorry, back to your question. I think no, it's fine. No, please, it's fine. I think it's funny because a lot of the cigar smokers that I smoke with have my cases.
Okay.
So I walk in and I see like 15 to 20 people with one of my cases or something like that, and it feels good. So, but a lot of my sales, I would say If I had to guess, I would say a lot more of my sales are in the West.
Really?
Yeah.
So now that you mentioned it, you said that when you walk in the cigar lounge, you see a lot of the people that you smoke with your case. When
Yeah.
that first order came in, and then you saw it like for the first time in someone's hands, what does that feel like?
It felt well, when I got my first sale, it was exhilarating because I was like, wow, I can do this.
Hmm.
What I always do is when somebody orders a case, I always ask them, hey, can you just take a picture with the case?
Hmm.
And if you don't mind, and what I do is I feature them on Instagram as another satisfied customer.
Hmm.
And it feels good, especially when people tell me that they love it, they really enjoy it. It there's nothing like it. It's always the next time is always like the first time. It's
Hmm.
always that first time feeling. And it's I mean, I'm like anybody. I think when you hear something good about something that you're doing or in a way that you affect somebody, I think it's a great feeling for for the heart and for your ego, to say, wow, somebody likes my stuff.
Right,
You know,
right.
I
So
take it equally bad as when somebody doesn't like my stuff, but it happens. I can respect that.
now, but has that ever happened though? Because I can't believe that. I mean, you can't satisfy everybody, right? That's the saying. But I just can't believe that with the product that I have seen, that someone would be dissatisfied with it.
Not my cases. I used to have lighters. I used to
Okay.
sell lighters, and people would say, "I don't really like this lighter. I thought it was much bigger." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm sorry." And I would ask them, "Do you want your money back?"
Hmm.
And they would say no. I had one person say yes. So I
Hmm.
said, "Okay, I'll refund your money. I'm not gonna, I'd rather fix the problem than it become a problem
Mm,
because you know it's it's easier for somebody to remember a bad review than a good review. So
mm.
I'd rather just, if they said, it wasn't the type of product, but the customer service was really good, I'm fine with that.
Okay. So when when we are talking about the sophistication of the cigar wallet and the cigar case, I also saw that you had a alloy cigar ashtray.
Yes.
So is that going to be something that can be integrated into your wallet where there's like a slot for that? Because it doesn't
Oh
look
no,
like
no,
it's
no.
big
That's a
or
separate. That's like you carrying your bag and
got you.
you place it because I have a bag that I bring with me, a travel bag that I have my cigar glass in.
Mhm.
So that's something where if you're gonna um you would put it in that. It's not gonna fit in the wallet. It's too big.
Okay. So I listen, I am always such a big proponent of, and I never like to call business small business because
Mhm.
to me it's a business, right?
Yes.
Business is business. So when you started your business, did you think that it was going to take off like it did?
I wanted to do well, but I didn't know what expectations I had. Um, I think I'm the type where I'm a very full, full straight ahead.
Hmm.
Um, I didn't really have any expectations. I was just hoping that people would like it and I would get sales. Um, but I'm, I'm just, I want to keep doing better and
Hmm.
I like people, purchasing my stuff. Like I said, I can deal with, when people don't buy. I can respect that. Like I said, there have been times I've went a full month with not selling,
Hmm.
but when I go out or when I post, I fully expect to sell.
Right.
That's always the goal. But I'm happy where I've to the point that I've gotten to. And I'm just going to just got to keep plugging along.
Well, I am so glad that Michelle put you in contact with me because I started looking at the website and I was sitting somewhere and they was like, "What you so intense?" Because I'm very intentional when I'm out. I don't
Uh-huh.
look at my phone a lot, but
Yes.
when I got your message, I was out and I was like, oh, okay, let me go look and see what he has. And I don't think I looked up from my phone for like 20 minutes because I was just like, oh my God, that is so beautiful. Oh my, and people was like, what is she doing over there? And I was like, look at
Thank
this, you
you.
gotta say this. So and I am so thankful that I get to, sit and talk to you, one, get to know you for two, and three, get to see the products that you have. And I can't wait to see what you do during the summer. I hope you come because DC has a cigar week. So when that
In the summer,
information, yes, in the summer. So when that information comes out, I'm gonna send it to you because I would
please.
love to see you in person.
If they have a thing with an event for vendors, I would definitely sign up for it.
Yes,
No
yes.
question.
So they do have a thing for vendors, and I'll reach out to the guy that I know that runs it and find out when all of that information comes out. I believe it is sometime in, I want to say late July, early August.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I will definitely send you that information. So tell everyone where they can find your accessories.
The www.theSarelixCigarStore.com, or you could just reach me on Instagram at SARELIX Cigars.
And you're on TikTok too, right?
Yes.
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 Okay. All right. So, and he's on TikTok, people. So
Yes.
make sure you go. Special. Listen, men. Valentine's Day is coming. Valentine's Day is coming, and a woman, we don't want no chocolate. We trying to keep our weight down. What we want is the cigar wallet or the cigar case. That's what we want. Okay, I'm just putting that out there because women smoke cigars too, and we want to be sophisticated and classy when we do.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
So
Thank you very much. It was an absolute honor.
it was
I
an
truly
honor for
appreciate
me
the
too,
time.
and I look forward to uh stalking your page more.
Talk away. Talk away.
So you have a great rest of your Wednesday. We will talk offline about
Yes,
some
indeed.
other things, and I'll make sure I get you that information. And I hope you have a wonderful middle of the week.
Yes, indeed. Pleasure. Thank you again.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.